Hi guys, I am back with another reading vlog from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. So if you've watched my previous ones, you'll know that myself and Mel from a book fiend named Mel have been buddy reading the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles, starting out with the first three of the Mortal Instrument. Now we are taking a break and moving on to the Infernal devices, starting with Clockwork Angel. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. Everyone keeps saying that they love the series and the writing just gets so much better. I really like the Mortal Instruments, so I have a bit of a fear that I'm not going to like this, because everyone who likes this doesn't like the Mortal Instruments, and I don't know how I'm going to feel because I really like the Mortal Instruments. I'm excited to try it. I do have my fear because I love all of the characters from the Mortal Instruments, and I feel as though I'm going to look at these characters and be like, you're not my guys, go away. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to be vlogging my experience, so it's going to be interesting to see if I can come up with any theories, come up with any ideas of how I'm feeling about any of these new characters, see if I can relate anything back to the Mortal Instruments. It's going to be a fun experience. I'm very excited to do it. So I'm just going to get started. So, it is the next morning. Oh, it's very dark in here. I think it's going to rain today. I've read the prologue of... Let me sit down. I've read the prologue of Clockwork Angel. I've met Will, Tessa, and Jem, which I've been told are the main characters, and they're okay. Sadly, that's all I'm feeling right now. Just like, meh, it's alright. I'm not liking it as much as the Mortal Instruments, but I am literally about 10 pages in, and I felt the same when I read the Mortal Instruments. I was thinking about this. During like the first bit, I was like, don't really care about any of them. Really, my main issue is, because it's set in England and the actors have to be British, apart from Tessa, I've had to come up with a whole list of characters, because I don't know if I've actually mentioned this, but when I read a book, I play it like a film in my head. I see it, so I have to cast like actors in the roles, and I was really struggling to find British actors that I thought suited the roles, because a lot of the British references that I know are stuff like the soap operas we watch, or Harry Potter, or things from Game of Thrones, and I thought, well, do I know anyone who I think could really suit this role? In the end, I've done it, but it did take a while, and because of that, I'm still just adjusting to them, and adjusting to the fact that these are not my original guys. Like, I miss Simon, I miss Isabel, I miss Alec, I miss everyone, and I'm like, well, where are you? This world exists, where are you? And I know they're not born yet, but that's not the point. But I'm okay with it. I'm going to carry on. I am doing a lot of work today, so I don't know how much I'll actually get read, but I'm going to try and read as much as I can. And I'm also reading a ebook at the moment as well, which is No Account Even, which is adorable. But I'm reading that at the moment because I'm doing Alphabathon and I need to read 26 books, so I'm kind of reading 2 at once. So whenever I can, I'm going to be reading, because I really want to enjoy this book, and I think the more I get into it, the further like I progress page wise, the more I will enjoy it. So I think I just need to hurry up and beat the first few slumpy pages where I'm like, I don't want to meet these people. I don't want to. I want my old guys. I need to just push through that, and then I'll love it. I don't know how Mel's doing. I know it's just it's just gone afternoon for me, and she's probably asleep because it's quite late. So I'll have to check in with her this evening because it's her morning. All gets very confusing, but we'll figure it out. I'm excited. This is a long clip. I'm going to cut a lot of this out, no doubt. I'm just going to read more. I have work, so I'll probably update you after work. Probably this evening. I'll let you know. So I'm going to give you an update now, just in case little old me forgets, because that happens. I ain't read anything. I know I was meant to, but work meeting was unexpected. Yay! That went on a lot longer than expected, so I didn't really get any reading done. I have edited my video. I was a good friend. I edited some of Jade's videos. And then I didn't read. I actually read another book. So, didn't really see the point in updating you, but I always do the thing where I say, I'll update you later, and then I never update you. So I'm updating you. I haven't read anything. I might try and read at least one chapter tonight. And then I'll start properly tomorrow. I said that last night. You know, it's no rush. It don't matter to you when I read, because as long as I read, that's all you care about, innit? So, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna read some stuff when I feel like it. Right now I'm reading an ebook, and I'm really, really liking it, so I'll just keep reading that instead. So, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna read one chapter. I'm determined. I will read one chapter, but it is getting on, so I probably won't update you. So I will update you tomorrow. And I will have read when I come back. So I know I said I weren't going to update you, but I just read a chapter. I'm only up to chapter 2. I only read one chapter because I'm tired. But it's getting good. I was initially concerned. When I read the prologue, I was like, I don't like it. They're not my Mortal Instruments, guys, and I love the Mortal Instruments. But I'm kind of liking it, so I'm going to carry on. I'm going to go on board. I'm going to go bed. But I will carry on in the morning. And I'm very excited to see where it goes. Right, night guys, peace out. Good morning. So I continued reading a bit. I'm now chapter 3, I think. Which doesn't sound impressive, but it is actually 67 pages in. So I find that quite impressive. But they're saying Tessa's a downworlder. Which shocked me initially. But now I think that actually makes sense, because in the Dark Sisters place, she was very shapeshifty, and it says that she's a shapeshifter, and I just didn't expect that. I don't know why. Probably because we've seen downworlders as like villains up to now, obviously barring Simon, but he came into it very late. Like, this is a initial, before we meet her, you are one downworlder. So that's Luke. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. My opinion is wrong. But it's different. It's interesting. Because I didn't expect her to be a downworlder. When I hear about Will and Tessa and Jem, and I don't know who any of these characters are, I'm just going off what people have told me. I thought Tessa was going to be like a Clary sort, you know, someone who was not part of the world and dragged into the world and has to deal with it. Or at the very least, I expected Tessa to be human. So this is very interesting. But it does make a lot of sense, because when all of that stuff at the Dark Sisters house was happening, I was very confused, because I thought, how is she turning into these other people, but not turning into these other people at the same time? It were weird. But I just wanted to update you with that, because that was very interesting to find out. And I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised, because I just didn't expect it. And I love when I don't expect things. Okay, so I'm up to page 85 now. And I think that's like chapter 4. And I've met a lot of these characters now. I assume these are going to be the main bulk who are part of the Institute. Obviously, I've met Will. I like Will. He's okay. There's nothing special about him, but there's nothing that I don't like. What's he called? Henry. I like Henry. He seems like a bit of a dweeb, and I like him. Charlotte. I don't know. I really like Charlotte. I love Charlotte for some reason. Don't know why. And Jessamine. She's a piece of work, but I like it. She reminds me of Isabel, but not so much that I'm kind of saying, oh, I love Isabel, so I'm going to love Jessamine, because I don't really love Jessamine that much. I think she's quite annoying, but she can grow on me, and I think she will. But I'm liking where it's going. I have some ideas and theories and things like that, so it's going to be quite interesting to chat to you about this. Sorry if the light's very weird. So, Tessa's a downworlder, which was very unexpected. Really didn't expect that. And she's in the Institute. Again, very unexpected, because from what we know of the Mortal Instruments, I'm going to turn around. So from what we know of the Mortal Instruments, Downworlders can't go into the Institute. They're not allowed, but she's allowed in this one. So she's either allowed because the plot convenience, but I don't think it's that, or it's allowed and something's going to happen, which means that in the future, no Downworlders are allowed to set foot in any institute because something happens this time. That's a prediction I have. But I have a feeling that if that prediction comes true, then that means it's going to be something that Tessa does. And Tessa's a main character that we love, apparently. Maybe we're meant to love her. So what can she really do that would ruin everything? Unless Tessa's gone in now and she's not actually a Downworlder. But then why would she shapeshift? I don't know. It's all confusing. But that's the kind of theory that I'm having, that if she's a Downworlder, she's going to the Institute. Because the rule changes for the Mortal Instruments and no Downworlders are allowed in the Institute, I feel like to have a full explanation, something like that has to happen in this book series to explain why that change has happened. But that's where I'm up to. I like the characters. I think they're nice. There's none that I dislike right now. Will's just a bit bland for me. Not really much to say about that yet. But I'm excited to meet more of these characters. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to take a break now and read another book. And then I'll just carry on. I'm up to like page 85. I think it's 85. So I am going to chill out. Probably read a different book or watch some TV. And I'll carry on a bit later on because I've got to get to page 120. Because I think the book's 480 pages. So I think if I get to 120 a day, it'll take me 4 days. Not including yesterday. So that'll be today, tomorrow, the day after, and the day after, because I don't even know what day it is anymore. So, bye. Bane's just been mentioned. I didn't know. Is he going to appear in this book? Oh my god, is he going to appear in this series? If he does, I will cry. I love him. Oh my god, he's old, isn't he? He could easily appear, and if they throw him in and then don't even bring him into the book, I'll be mad. Oh my god, if he appears, my life is complete. So basically, I didn't hit my pages tonight. I got to chapter 5, which is page 107 tonight. I'm liking it. I think it's good. Although I was told the main 3 characters are Jem, Will, and Tessa. And I don't think I've seen Jem since the prologue. And that's a bit weird considering he's the main character. So I was hoping I'd get to see him more. Probably going to have to just wait until tomorrow now and he'll pop in eventually. But I was meant to get to page 120 and I didn't. So tomorrow I'm meant to get to page 240. And I'm on 107. Basically, I worked out because 240 is actually mid-chapter. So to get to the end of whatever chapter that was, to get the pages in, I have to read 150 pages tomorrow. So that's going to be hell. But I am going to try and do it. Today, I was out, I had work, I had an ebook that I was reading at the same time. Tomorrow, I have nothing. I am filming a video to go up. I'll have to edit the video. And other than that, that's it. I'm in all day, I'm doing nothing, so I can really just hammer it and focus on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a good portion in to Clockwork Angel tomorrow, and then maybe start another book, because it's Alphabeton. But yeah, I'm happy with how it's going. I like the characters. I'm having a bit of an issue with casting Will in my head. I just can't picture him. I don't know who would play him in the movie. I'm struggling to visualize him, which is making me not like his character that much, just because I'm kind of lacking in kind of a connection to him. But I'll see. I'll find a way to work. It'll be okay. It'll all be fine. We will make it work, guys. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go to bed. And I'll just carry on in the morning. So I will see you later. So I've continued reading on today. I'm now at page 142, which is good. So what I can say about this is I love the friendship between Will and Jem. I think they're really clearly best friends, and it comes across not in a obviously these two are best friends way, but in a natural way that proves how close they are. They have a really fun relationship. Will is a really fun character with Jem, whereas when he's with like Tessa or Charlotte or Henry or any of them really, he's just very grouchy. I've sorted out my issues with Will. I can picture it. It's all good. I'm really enjoying where this is going. I'm not so enamored with it that I can't put it down. But I was the same with the first Mortal Instruments book, so I think it's just like a... What's the word? Like a resting period. Just getting used to it. Like an adjustment period. There we go. It's a little adjustment period of me just getting used to it, which, you know, that's accepted. It's fine. That will not hinder my rating or anything at all of this. My experience of it, despite the adjustments, is still really good. I really like it. I'm loving where the plot's going. I don't have too many predictions. I'm making an assumption that Will Herondale is going to be an ancestor of Jace, who was revealed to be a Herondale in City of Glass. So I'm making that assumption. There was someone else that I can't remember now. Oh no, there was a mention of the Lightwoods. So I'm really interested. I assume a romance is going to come into this, which to be fair, I don't really care about. But the way it's going right now, I'm really happy. I'm loving it. And I'm going to carry on. My goal is to get to page 250 today. So it's possible. I have a couple of work meetings to do and a video to film, edit and put up all today because I leave it last minute. But I think I can do it. It's 110 pages in one day. That's doable, Connor. It's doable. Do it. You have no choice. I'm going to force myself. So I'll check in with you when I get a little bit more done. Might be this evening. Hopefully it won't be this evening. I'm hoping I can get a good portion of it done. It's 1:30 now, so good portion by 4, 5 o'clock by tea time. So I'll see you then. So, we've just been told that a character called De Quincey, who is apparently the head of the vampire clan in London, is the one that has employed Nathaniel, who is Tessa's brother, who's missing, to his work. And they're talking to this man now, I don't remember his name, Mort Main, and they're talking to him like, does he have a title? He's a very influential member, he wouldn't do something like this, surely. Does he have a title? And they said, yes, he does. He's called the Magister. And even though we've never met De Quincey, I'm just kind of sat there like, because the Magister is the person who wanted Tessa. And it's just tying all together, and it sounds cool, and I'm excited to figure out more because I'm really interested in how this is going. I'm on page 160 now. I really should be further into this book, but never mind. I'm liking it, and I want to know how this mystery works because I've kind of been a bit hesitant getting into this story just in case I didn't like it because everyone loves it, and I am enjoying it, but I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to see what happens next. And now that we've found out about this Magister thing, I'm just kind of there like, oh, now I do want to see what happens next. So it looks like my excitement of it is building, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'm so glad it happened because I was concerned that I just wasn't going to enjoy it. So I'm really looking forward to carrying on. So I made it to page 200 at the moment. Well, I'm past that now. I'm on like 210. My goal is 240. And it's late. I'm going to keep reading and try and get to 240 at the least because I feel as though I've earned that. So I'm going to keep reading now, hopefully get to 240 and then just probably go straight to bed. So I won't update you again tonight just because if I keep reading now it's going to be so late by the time I actually finish. So that's me for tonight. I'm going to get to 240 if it kills me. 30 pages to go. Oh, it's not. I've got to get to 250 because that's where the chapter ends. I'll do it. Watch me. I will check you in with. I'll check in with you in the morning, and I'll be like, I did it. So I'll do it. I'm gonna. There was another mention of Magnus Bane, who was the lover of a vampire, which freaked me out. I was not a fan of that. Not because she was a vampire, not because of her character. I love Magnus Bane, but Magnus should be with Alec. And I know that Magnus and Alec were a thing in this book. I know that Alec wasn't even alive in this book. But that is not the point. Magnus should have just stayed single forever until Alec. And that is all I have to say. Good night, and I will see you in the morning. Morning. So I did it. I got to my pages, and I just woke up, so I'm going to carry on reading now. One thing I did notice last night, but I just didn't want to film the thing last night, so I thought I'd do it this morning, is the families from the Mortal Instruments books, like the Penhallows, the Lightwoods, the all of them. You know who I mean. Them guys. All of them families are now in England. Like, I know that the generation thing kind of passes down when it comes to the Shadowhunters, but they were all in England, and then when it comes to like present day, they're all in New York. Like, well, I suppose the Penhallows aren't, but still. It's just weird how they're all together in this book and then all together in the future, but they're all in different areas. Like, the location's completely different in the genre. Maybe that's just me, but I get that it's like a little nod to what's happening and who the families are and things like that. But to me, that's just like, that's not real. I shouldn't be picking out the realism. I'm reading a fantasy book. The realism should not be an issue. I'm really enjoying it. I am. It's one of those, it's fun, it's easy. Not much is happening in terms of action, though. I was promised action, so I feel lied to. But yeah, not much is really enticing me to keep reading because I'm so excited to see what's going to happen. I'm reading because I'm enjoying it. It's fine, it's fun, but I'm not like, oh my god, I can't put this book down now. Which I kind of thought was going to be the case when everyone says how much more they love the Infernal Devices. But I know that I felt this way with book one, and then the ending was amazing, and it was totally worth it. So I might feel the same way with this book one. We'll see. Right now, it's a 5-star or a 4-star. I'm not sure where I'm going with it because I really enjoyed it. I think it's fun. I think it's great. I'm just not so excited that I can't put the book down. But, you know, I was like that with City of Bones. I was like that with City of Ashes at some point. So I think that's an ongoing thing. As long as the ending is so good that I can forgive the lack of goings on, then I think definitely 5-star. If the ending's not as good, then I'd give it a bit of a lesser rating. But I'll see. I'm enjoying it. I think it's good right now. So I'm going to get up and carry on reading. I'm not sure how much I'm going to read because I'm also starting another book today. And I need to see how I do with that. I'll check in with you guys later anyway. Okay. I haven't really read much more, but they're at a party and Will has just said we need to look for Magnus Bane. He's going to help us, which means Bane's coming into it soon. I hope he comes into it. If I get teased like this and then Bane doesn't show up into this book, I will flip my lid because I love Bane and I'm so excited. And I've been told that he appears in all of the books. Not in all of the books, but in every series, like Mortal Instruments, Infernal Devices, Dark Artifices. So there's no reason why he shouldn't show up if I've been told he will. So I'm hoping he does. So I'm enjoying reading now. I've had to do a lot of work this morning, so I've had no reading at all. So I'm enjoying reading this now. I do hope to get a good chunk of the way through. There's no point in me telling you. You'll see whether I'm going to do it or not, won't you? He's here. In the pages I've read since I last updated you, we met Magnus Bane again, and I love him, of course. We saw Tessa turned into this vampire woman to go to this party to catch them out so that the what are they called? The Enclave can see them do this, and then it's proof that they have broken the law, so they can go and kill him, basically, for it. That's happened. They went to have a human sacrifice, and it turns out that the sacrifice was Tessa's brother, who has been missing this entire time. So we found Nathaniel, and he's a bit weird, a bit drugged up at the moment on vampire drugs. And big fight. It was a very good fight. It was very tense. I enjoyed the fight scene, and it was very interesting to see all of the group dynamic, because I can't remember if Jessamine was there, but she didn't really get any airtime from us, if she was. Like, I don't think she got mentioned, other than whether she was there or not. But everyone else got mentioned. So I don't know about that. But it was really nice seeing them fight, because you really got to see that side of them. And that was really interesting and really fun. And it was interesting to see that Tessa was willing to kill this vampire. And she failed, but she was willing to do it, and she did try, but she did fail at it. So now, we're just going to see where it goes from there. But I'm really realising how much I like the characters. It's really good. I love them all. I would be sad if anything happened to Will, Jem, or Tessa. At the moment, I'm at a position where Jem has something wrong with him. We don't know what. And that bothers me, because I am concerned about him. And I'm worried about liking him and then finding out that he's going to, die. Because he's ill or something. I don't know. I love Charlotte and Henry with all of my heart. They are the most precious characters on Earth. And I don't care about Jessamine. It's a shame. Robbie's going to kill me because he said he loves her, but she's not really in it as much as the other characters. And then when she is in it, she's moaning about something. I'm just kind of sat there get on with it, love. Shut up moaning. So I don't really like her. And that's a shame, because I know you can't really make the comparison to Isabel, because the different characters don't get into that habit. But when it kind of came across that Jessamine was the bitchy one, I thought, so she's the Isabel. Of course, we're going to love her. She won't be Isabel, but I will love her just as much because I love the bitchy character. Isabel's very sassy bitchy, and Jessamine is very rude and arrogant, and I don't like that. So I don't really care about her, and I'm hoping that changes, because I don't like the idea of having a character that I don't like. But I do love all of the others. Sophie is beautiful. She's just really funny. She's a bit of a non-entity character, really. She's just a little side character, but I love her just as much as the rest. And I'm excited to see where this is going now. I want to know what happens next. So, not long left. So I've just realised I've been telling Robbie a lot of my thoughts and not actually been telling you guys how I'm feeling. So, I have said from day one, I say it all the time, I don't want relationships in this book. It doesn't fit with what I care about. Fair enough, they're going to happen. We know they're going to happen. It's fine. I'm used to it. I can deal with it. But I don't really care about it. It's the last thing I care about, which is probably the last thing a lot of people care about, which really explains a lot about why a lot of people really couldn't care less about Clary and Jace in the Mortal Instruments. Because no one cares about the relationship. We care about the fantasy element. But if there is going to be a relationship, I feel like it's very obvious that it's going to be Will and Tessa. And I don't really care about that. Maybe Will will change in another book, but he's one of those characters that, although I like him, I've just said recently that, if something happened to him, I would be upset. Because I would. I feel as though he's one of them misguided souls who just needs a bit of love. But I really, really love Jem. And I think Jem treats Tessa right. So if there was going to be a relationship, I want Tessa and Jem. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. Because when does the good guy ever get the girl? Please don't come at me with loads of examples of when the good guy gets the girl. It's just such a common thing that the idiot guy shows his heart and then everyone falls in love with him. Well, no. If you want me to love you, man, you should have shown me your heart from day one. Don't be rude to me. And I just don't care for Will that much. Like, he's fine. He's a good character. I do like him as a character. I love his relationship with Jem. I love his jokes and his cockiness and his, I love that every now and again you do see him let up a bit and you do see him smile. And that's what I love to see. They're the parts that I am invested in this character for. Because even though he isn't like that all the time, when we see it, it's beautiful. And I can't wait until we get to a point where it just sees more, where it just comes out more and more. I love that. That is what I am waiting for in my life. But he's very arrogant and he's very cocky. He's to be honest, he's quite disgustingly rude, and I don't like it. And it's really putting me off him and making me think I love Will. No, screw Will. I love Tessa and Jem. And I feel as though maybe that's intentional. You're meant to like Tessa and Jem. But I also really don't like when a book makes you like another character. Like in a love triangle, I hate when a book makes you think, oh, these two will be a good couple just because this one's being rude, but then this one has the big growth, and then obviously it's going to end up being them, because then this character was never going to get it. We've come to see that. We're used to it now. And I think Stephanie Meyer did it in Twilight. She had Edward go off and be his stroppy little self, so Bella grew really close to Jacob, when really it was always going to be Edward, and then it just kind of went back. Cassandra Clare did it in The Mortal Instruments with the Clary and Jace sibling thing, and then changed it around. Oh, stop fake loving each other. You don't care. Everyone knows who the character's going to end up with. Everyone knows who it's endgame with. I swear to God, if it turns out to be Jem and Tess and how, I'll be like, okay, I was wrong. But everyone knows it's going to be Tessa and Will at the end. We know it. We've come to accept it. Stop trying to make us think it won't happen, because we all know your little games. We all know it's going to happen. So let's just accept it. And if you want us to love Jem, focus on making us love Jem. Don't make us love Jem because Will is rude. Don't make us love Jem because Will is going lower in our expectation. Like, you're not going to make us fall in love with a character more by making us just hate the other one. I love Jem because he is beautiful. He's so kind and caring, and he's just so soft and delicate. He's like a little cinnamon roll character, and I love him so much. He's just so sweet. But I don't love him because Will is the opposite and he's arrogant and he's rude. I love him on his own, and I want that to stay. I feel like I've gone on a rant, so I'm going to chill. I've actually read so much today. I didn't expect to. I'm up to page 320, so I've got 40 pages left before I hit my goal. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take a minute break, because I did do a bit of intense reading just then. I'm going to take a 5-10 minute break and then carry on and hit my goal, and that'll be really good because it'll be the first day I'm actually on track with my reading, and it means I'm closer to finishing tomorrow, hopefully. I would love to finish this tomorrow. That'd be amazing. So I'll check in with you guys later, hopefully either when something big happens or when I finish my. So now the automatons have just attacked. That was a very good piece of tense writing. I love the tense writing that Cassandra Clare does, but it just always seems to happen, and then there's a lull. And then it happens, and then there's a lull. And I found that in the Mortal Instruments as well. I'm sorry if I keep comparing it to Mortal Instruments. I know everyone finds them obviously a very different series, but everyone prefers these, so I always feel bad for those that don't like the Mortal Instruments having to hear me talk about it a lot. But I'm making the comparison. She does it with this, Cassandra Clare, and it's not bad because I like it. I don't want to be in the action all the time because I want to have a bit of a break, and I don't mind that, but it just feels so... There's no... I don't know what the word is. Basically, I feel as though it goes like from up here to down here in a matter of seconds, and I feel as though I'd like a genuine, that's not right. General kind of descale. And then a dissension. Is that word? Sorry for my bad English. Yeah, I'd like a bit of a dissension of drama, and then when it's nice lull, slowly building up pace and getting more dramatic. But that's what I feel as though I'm lacking. It literally just goes from 0 to 100 immediately. Like there's no ebb and flow. I don't know what the word is. You know what I mean. It doesn't build or slow down. It literally just goes bam, bam. And I think it's just jarring. It is very jarring. But I really do love Jem's character, and he's obviously very ill, and I think I've mentioned this before to you guys. If not, I've mentioned it to Robbie. But something's wrong with him. We don't know what, and it annoys me that I don't know what. But he wants to talk to Tessa now, because he's just had a big collapsy thing, and that's bothered me. So I'm going to go find out what he wants, and I'll let you know. But I'm so close now to hitting my goal, and I'm so proud of myself for actually doing it. So I've just been talking to Robbie about this, and he asked me what I thought of the automatons, and I was thinking about how I feel about them, and I was saying, really, I don't mind that they're in there. It wasn't what I expected. Obviously, it's less fantasy than I'm kind of used to. But I actually think it's quite different, because I wouldn't have expected it from a world that has fairies and demons and vampires and werewolves and stuff, that the threat would come from robots, and I like that. So it's definitely new. But I was saying to Robbie, I don't understand why. Like, I'm hoping we get an answer for that. Like, fair enough that we're using this, but are you using these automatons to be edgy, or is there an actual reason you're using them? Because I feel as though I need a justification of why they're there, not just I'm using them because I can. Because if the vampire guy is the Magister, he is using them. Like, you're a vampire, you are strong as it is. Why are you using a robot? You are strong. So I'm kind of getting that feeling in my head. And I was just chatting to Robbie about it and just giving my thoughts and theories, and I realised I haven't really come up with many theories, but it's just made me come up with the idea that maybe the automatons are being used because they are not technically downworlders. They can go into the Institute, whereas downworlders can't. And I was saying, like, you know, the likelihood is they won't be able to get in, because I know shadow hunters can only open the door, no one else can. So if a shadow hunter was to be going out for the day and think, oh crap, I've left my keys in the house, and just pop back in, and they might not shut the door when they pop back in, one could just slip in. Like, if the door was open, they could get in. And then that led me to another theory, and I'm actually connecting those two theories now. So that was one theory, that the automatons can get in there because they're not downworlders. They won't be magically restricted from going in. And then I had a secondary theory of, I wouldn't be surprised if one of our main peeps were switched out with an automaton, like they were kidnapped and then they were switched with an automaton at the time, and there's an automaton in there undercover. And I didn't really see a connection with that until just now, where I thought if one of them's inside, the automaton could open the door from the inside. Or maybe the automaton's Nate. No, because they saw him bleed. Automatons don't bleed. Never mind. But I was thinking, oh yeah, because the Silent Brothers spoke to him and everything. Because I thought, he's in there, technically. We don't know him. Do we trust him? Can we trust Nate? I didn't know. I've not even considered Nate. Oh, this is the part you all come for, isn't it? I wonder if we can trust Nate. So yeah, now my opinion's just completely changed, because I was originally thinking with this book that I'm liking it, but there isn't enough action happening, and I'm a bit like, Like, I was actually torn between giving it a 4-star rating, and that would mean that this book is the first Shadowhunter Chronicles book that I've given a 4-star rather than a 5. So, sorry, I'm tired. So that was a big thing for me. But now that I've started looking at all these potential conspiracy theories that I didn't see originally, and I've now just started thinking about them, I've realised how much I really want to carry on and how much I really like what's happening. So, if it's a good ending, this is still on track for a 5-star. And that is a big deal because I was thinking 4. So I'm happy. We just found out why Jem's why he is. That is really sad. Like, that is awful. I'm not happy with that. So, this spoiler alert's all the way through, so I'm just going to tell you. You'll know anyway if you've watched it, or you don't care and you want to know because you want to know why I'm feeling a certain way. Jem's parents were killed. He then was tortured by the demon that killed his parents with some hallucinogenic drug and poison and stuff like that. And because of the amount that they tortured him, he became addicted to the drug. And no matter how much they tried to take him off it, he basically was going to die if they took him off it, so they have to keep him on this drug. And either way, he's going to die from this drug. It'll just be a slow, painful death. Oh, wait, no, they didn't say that. They said it'd be a slow death if he has the drugs, or a quick one if he doesn't. And why does stuff like this always happen to the characters I like? Simon got murdered and turned into a vampire in The Mortal Instruments. Jem got drugged up and now can't live without drugs in this series. Why? Always happens to the nice ones. Just want to finish this chapter so I can take a break, quite frankly. Being away this early is absolutely disgraceful. But I'm going to try and finish this today. I think it is entirely possible. I have 130 pages left. So it's doable. I'm just tired. But I can definitely do this. 130 pages of this. And then it's done. And I'm going to be so proud of myself. So, I'll have to see if I've actually mentioned this before. I don't know. Anyway, I'm actually really enjoying this book. I felt as though it was okay, but I was a little bit bored with it. But since I've had a discussion with some of my friends, I've come to realise that even though in my head, it's like not that much is happening. Like I feel things are happening, but it's not like action-packed and tense. It's just like, this is happening, and now this is happening. And it's just kind of casual, even though it's a bit dramatic. It's a bit casual, rather than a bit, oh my god, what's going to happen? And I was thinking that means it's clearly lacking some enjoyment for me. But after discussing things, because my friend was saying, so what do you think about this? I was like, oh, I really like this, I love this, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. And they said, alright, is there anything you've got a bit of an issue with? I was like, and I realised I really don't have an issue with anything. I don't necessarily like some things. I don't like characters, really. That's my issue. I don't like Jessamine. She's just arrogant and cocky and rude, and I know I've mentioned that, so I'm not going to go on it. But I don't really like the character of Will, and I feel as though we're just going to get the typical love triangle trope where it's obvious that those two are going to end up together, but Cassandra Clare's trying to make us think that these two are going to get together by making this guy a bit of a douche. And then he'll get the big redemption, they'll end up together, you know. I did mention this yesterday, so I won't go on about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I'm thinking. So that annoys me, because I don't like Will at the minute. But now there's a part of me that's thinking, just carry on not liking him, even if he does good things, because you know, you don't want to fall into the, oh, I'm so glad that's the thing after you've just moaned about the fact. So, I don't know. I'm going to carry on reading today and try and get these pages finished. So we've just been given an explanation of why they're using automatons as opposed to their vampiric powers, which is good, because I said a while ago, like, I like the automaton thing as long as there's a reason for it, because these creatures are all so strong. The last thing they do is then just bring in a robot to fight their battles. That's not their style. But I get it now, because they're talking about how the Nephilim are always treated as the superior creatures. Their weapons are so much better. You can't beat shadow hunters. And he said no living thing can destroy a shadow hunter, so he's made something that wasn't living, and I like it. So that's a very good, interesting reason, and I'm on board with it. But they're going to do a spell to put some, I think, demon energy into the automatons, and they said it can only be done during a full moon, and the full moon's tonight. So it's gonna get tense, guys. I'm excited to find out how tense this is gonna get. I'm gonna get up, get dressed, go downstairs, probably eat food, and keep reading. I'm excited to see where this goes. Oh my god, so Will and Jem have just gone to kill the Dark Sisters. Automatons have just attacked. They've just killed Agatha. I didn't expect Agatha to die. I'm upset. I am mad. And now things are tense. I need a minute. So the Magister is Mortmain. But he's nothing. He's human. Surely it'd be someone with power. Like, oh, I knew it. I didn't know it, but I knew it. Like, as soon as the automatons come in, I knew that Mortmain had something to do with it, because they waited until Will and Jem had gone. So I thought Mortmain had just been not tricked, but coerced or helped them by getting rid of the two. I didn't realise he'd be the Magister. And Nate. I knew I couldn't trust him, this smarmy little American. I'm really making an effort not to swear anymore on my channel. That doesn't work, but I'm angry. I don't know, I feel very betrayed. Not so much betrayed by Mortmain, because I didn't really trust him to begin with. I didn't really trust Nate, to be honest, so it's not like I feel betrayed by him. I feel bad for Tessa, and I feel mad that Agatha is dead. Like, Agatha is beautiful. I love Agatha. She's not even a main character, but I always love the unmain characters. I have to keep reading, and I really don't want to. I want to just go crawl into bed and cry for a bit. I'm not happy. So what's the deal with this angel thing? Because it's done nothing this entire book, and then all of a sudden it's just kind of come to life and attacked the animatron that's got her. Animatron, is that a made up word? Maybe. But it's just attacked the robot thing to make Tessa stay alive. Like, where's that come from? Why has it not done any of that in the past? Like, what's going on? I hope there's an explanation. Nate is seriously messed up. Like, he's just admitted that he poisoned and killed Aunt Harriet just so Tessa would have nowhere to go and had to come to England with him. He's also willingly admitted that he sold his sister for power and to be a good gambler. And then at the end, when he had the chance to return to normal, he sold the knowledge. He sold everything about her. He basically handed her over to Mortmain just so he could have power again. What is wrong with the dude? Oh my god. This is a very good book. Started off a bit slow, but I think that's the same with every book I've read so far. Always starts off slow and then builds momentum. So it's good. Now Thomas is dead. I can't handle this. I expected these people to be okay because they lived in the Institute. I expected these to be the ongoing survivors until the final battle, and they just died in the first book. It hurts. These are lovely people. They didn't deserve this. Just no. I'm confused. Tessa's just killed herself. How can Tessa kill herself? She can't kill herself. She's the main character. It's not possible. I'm really confused. So she's found out she's a warlock because, well, maybe. We don't know. It's so confusing right now. Her dad is not her dad. Her dad is a demon. But then Mortmain's saying that her mother didn't know what she was. I don't know. It's so confusing. So is she a warlock? At the moment, we're under the impression she's a warlock. So I'm going to call her a warlock. I'm going to assume the fact that she's a warlock means she's going to come back to life. Somehow. Which is quite annoying because I don't like when people die and come back to life. It's very frustrating. Let them stay dead. On the other hand, if she does stay dead, where the hell is this series going to go? Life is confusing. I don't want to start coming up with theories for what happens in case she stays dead because I don't want her to be dead. I actually really started liking her towards the end of this book. Like, she was fine at the start of the book. She just wasn't anything special. Now she's something special. I can't handle these emotions. Okay, so Tessa was tricky. I like it. It's not the typical resurrection trope. It's changed, and Cassandra Clare does that well. She also does all of the cliche stuff that everyone always does and changes it around a bit. Not always, but with a lot of things. And I'm really glad about how that works. So I'm really happy with it. I'm currently up to chapter 20, which is 462. And there are 485 pages or 486. So I'm stopping because I'm going to have lunch and chill out for a little bit. And then I'm going to finish the book. So, I've not finished yet, so I'm going to come back to you in a minute with final thoughts. But, kind of an unanswered question that I'm assuming is going to carry on into the future is, who is this JTS that the watch belonged to, that Mortmain had? Because now that's just making me think, obviously this is going to be a big thing, and maybe it's a character, not a character we know, but maybe it's like a family name that we know, and I don't know, but it's a very much unanswered question. I'm excited to see where this leads. And I'm really happy that I read these. I'm enjoying them. So I'm excited to carry on now into Clockwork Prince. Won't be till next month, but still, I'm happy with it. I'm really glad and I'm excited to go back. I've just finished the book. Ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, which I'm not too pleased about. I was warned it'd end on a cliffhanger, but I'm a bit annoyed that it did. I was hoping I was being lied to. I want to know what's going on with Will now. His character is one that's very strange because I feel as though, obviously, him and Tessa are endgame and we're meant to love him. But it's very difficult to love him because he is a douche. So I don't know what we're meant to do. How are we meant to love this guy when he's not acting as someone we can potentially love? I feel as though we still haven't seen as much of Jessamine as we could have, which is a bit strange. I do really like... I still love Jem. I do still love Jem. But there is a thing that I'm questioning now, and I don't understand. Not about Jem, just in general of this book. This angel necklace thing that Tessa wore has saved her life. It flew up, it attacked these things, and then it buggered off, apparently. And it's just come back. What's with that? Because there was never any reference to this angel being able to do that before it happened. And I'm like, right, do we get more of an explanation in future books? I'm hoping we do, because if not, that's going to be very annoying that it just plot convenience. So I'm hoping that does help. And I'm actually really sad that I'm finished now, to be honest. I want to carry straight on into the next one. And I didn't think I would when I first started this book, because I was I was a bit with it, so I didn't think I'd be so excited to carry on, but I really, really am. And I'm a bit sad I have to wait until next month. It'll be fine, it'll be worth the wait. It will. Come on, Connor, cheer up. So, that was my vlog for this. There was not as many theories as I would have hoped this time. And, you know, I said earlier, it's potentially just first book syndrome. I'm just getting used to it. So, more theories may come up in the next ones. We'll just have to see if any theories kind of crop up in my head whilst I'm reading. I'm glad to know that I did question where Nate's loyalties would lie, and that theory kind of came true, that we couldn't trust him. I did have a bit of a suspicion about I forgot his name now. Montmain? The minister. What the hell is wrong with me? I'm just going to cut that bit out and not talk about it. I feel as though we still have more to come with the Lightwood family. We don't really see them that much, to be fair. But I do think we have more to come with them. Also, finding out that Tessa can't have children throws a bit of a spanner in the works, because Will Herondale is, I'm making the big assumption, Will Herondale is an ancestor of the Herondale family, and therefore of Jace. So, if Tessa can't have children, then them two shouldn't be allowed to... Not be allowed. They technically, in, like, the chronological stuff, they shouldn't be together. Technically. And now that's literally, when I heard that Tessa couldn't have children, I was like, right, well, that's going to resolve itself so that it can happen. Because there's no way Will and Tessa can be together if she can't have kids. Because we've read books where the kids of what I'm assuming will be Will, and maybe Tessa, but at the very least Will, are in the books. They're main characters. The Herondale family are main characters. So there's either secret Herondales that are coming into it, or Will marries someone that is not Tessa and has children with her, or Tessa actually is just going to get resolved and she can have children. So we'll see how... I don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions right now. A lot of the questions come from the future, the Mortal Instruments books in the future, and we're sat here thinking, right, so if that's the case and that's linked, how's this going to work? Which I'm assuming is going to get answered. But this thing with the angels annoying me, so I hope it gets resolved in future books, because is it just plot convenience, or is there a bigger story? I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt that it's part of a bigger story. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I really am. I'm really looking forward to see where it goes. Yeah, I'm very excited. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Sorry it's not as theory-based. I've just kind of checked in with you every now and again. It's been a busy month. But I'm really glad that I read this. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. And I just can't wait to get to the next one. So I will see you all in my next video. And I will see you all again when we move on to Clockwork Prince. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.